evening, intuitives. I'm going to try to get 2 videos up a day now, one for INFJ and one narcissism or witchcraft, whatever I feel like doing. So let's see how I execute that plan, which ties into this video. So I do some videos from time to time that are not just for INFJs, but specifically for Sigma INFJs, because not all INFJs are Sigmas. You know, the majority of us are, but not all of us are Sigmas, just like not all of us are demisexual. So I wanted to do a video. If you have these 10 beliefs, you're a Sigma INFJ, like 10 core beliefs of not just specifically an INFJ, not just specifically a Sigma male, because there's non-INFJ Sigma males, but, 10 beliefs if you're both, because I'm both, and demisexual, and a male witch. I'm a unicorn, probably. So number one, for Sigma INFJs, execution is more important than generating the idea. So for a lot of people, they talk. They talk about what they're going to do or what they want to do. And that's all they do is talk. They talk, same thing over and over again. And the status quo marches on, the wheel keeps turning, how boring. And they usually complain about why things never change, because who would have thought doing the same thing over and over again just perpetuates the same misery that you're in? To escape that pattern, one must, change their routine and see what happens. Sigma INFJs are all about the execution of what we're trying to do. And Sigma INFJs are very good at the long game. So we understand that, like, instant gratification, nah, anything important, not happening. So it's a step-by-step thing, and it can get frustrating. We can get very frustrated and thinking like, well, I'm not here yet. But nonetheless, you're still making strides towards that end game. And a lot of the times what we're working for doesn't have a true deadline. It's just arbitrary in most cases. In some cases, there is a real clock, and you do get quite impatient, and the people around you will tell you that, things take time and you're on the right path. And so will the goddess Lilith. I'm glad she's very patient with me. She's not patient with everybody, but she babies me. I'm like a baby boy. Yeah. So, number 2. I wrote these down. It's best to be the best rather than first. It's better to be the best rather than first. So INFJs or Sigma INFJs with pretty much anything, we strive for quality over quantity. So, we want to do something. If we're doing like a project or anything, we want it done like absolutely perfect, because we are perfectionists, instead of to get it done as fast as possible. Yeah, it's like that with dating too. We'll put in a ton of work to get, our dream girl, as opposed to, say a girl who's throwing herself at you, but it's not your type, kind of thing. Most men wouldn't do that. Sorry, these are going to skew male because I'm a boy. Yeah. And I'm wearing pants, maybe. So, number 3, quitting is okay. Now, this may seem contradictory, but quitting is okay in the mind of a Sigma INFJ, especially if what you are quitting is corrupt and making you miserable. So Sigma INFJs don't buy into the like, well, it may be a crappy job, but you just have to tough it out. It'll get better. No, if you're working a dead-end job and your boss treats you like shit and your pay's shit and you work 7 days a week and you work 60 hours a week, yes, I'm talking about my time as an assistant superintendent, we can come to the realization like, this is never going to get any better. The money sucks. I have no life. It's time to move on. It goes back to the first point. How is anything supposed to change and get better if you don't make a change? So in that sense, it's okay to quit. Same with a bad relationship. If you're miserable in a relationship and the other person treats you like shit, sticking it out, it's not going to get any better. But a lot of people do that because, oh, what will people think? And, this person is such a important person in the community. They were popular in high school after all, kind of thing. No, it's time to quit. It's also time to stand up for yourself and say no. Sigma INFJs, we can always choose for ourselves. That's why we're like so good for ENFJs because they can't hardly ever. We help them with that. They help us like get out of our NITI loops and stop, looking like that all the time. They're very expressive and they bring out our FE better than anybody. So yeah, we can think for ourselves and make our own decisions. Sigma INFJs are not at all pushovers. We can be very assertive. We can also, hang in the background and be like a ghost, but when somebody tries to push us to do something that we don't want to do and they keep pushing and they keep pushing, they find out just how assertive we are. Because not only will we be assertive, but we'll look them dead in the eye, read them, and spotlight them and tear them asunder by their own truths, by exposing the very things that they think no one can see. The things they fear will come to light. We will bring them to the light, spotlight, and everyone will explain it in a way that everybody can see it. And then you get that look. Oh, people crumble when you do that. Don't do that. That's a nuclear option. Nuclear option. So be sure when you decide to spotlight somebody that it truly warrants, nuclear option. Because metaphorically speaking, depending on who you do that to, you will essentially start a nuclear war. And there will be no rules. Remember that. Okay. For Sigma INFJs, failure is a learning tool. We learn from mistakes. Sigma INFJs, relationships or whatever, we can accept when somebody leaves us, but we want to know why. The reason why we want to know why is because we want to ensure that we don't repeat that same pattern again. So if we know where it went wrong, we can see the signs leading up to it and prevent falling in that trap again. So yes, if you're dating a Sigma INFJ and you want to be free of them, just tell the Sigma INFJ, but just tell them the truth that you want to be done, which ironically some people don't do, and that doesn't make sense to me because it's like, well, I can't tell him the truth, he'll hate me then. It's like, but you just said you want nothing to do with him and want him out of your life, so why not, and if it's your fault because you lied, why don't you just tell him the truth so he can at least piece together what's going on in his head and figure out what happened so he can stop thinking about you and move on. Not that I'm talking about my last relationship or anything. Yeah. Okay. Success is more than fame and money. Big one for us. So completing whatever our goal is, whatever drives us, whatever change in the world we want to make, our vision, our idealistic vision of making the world a better place is far more important than fame and money. We're not materialistic, so, as long as we have enough money to live comfortably, i.e. not paycheck to paycheck, support a family if we have one, we're good. We don't worry about things like keeping up with the Joneses or a country club membership or a Ferrari, things like that. And fame doesn't really appeal to us, except for if that fame, say, gives us something that we would see value in, like influence to make the world a better place, to give us that soapbox to stand up on, to give us fame solely so people will listen to what we have to say because we believe what we're saying is important. It's not like INFJs are not the kind of people that really, would seek fame just to be in the club and, be around famous people. Okay, one. But other than that, fame and money are a means to an end, like to have influence to, crush the old boys club or to start a nonprofit to help people who faced workplace bullying, hazing, and retaliation, sexism, discrimination, all that things, but be like an independent entity who investigates these things, particularly in Great Britain under the Coercive Control Act, which is a thing there, which is awesome. We need that here, and be that independent body to actually find the truth instead of, say, I don't know, a fire department investigating itself. And yeah, but entities shouldn't investigate themselves. Just saying. Okay. Good things take time. I referenced this one already because I go out of order sometime, but we understand the long game. We understand, if something's really worth obtaining, that you have to have a step-by-step goal. Sigma INFJs are very good planners, And we can be patient as long as we're making progress. So if end game's over here and we're over here, we can handle step by step. It's when we're stuck on one step, just spinning our wheels, not making any progress, even if it's incremental. That drives us crazy and into NITI loops. So for Sigma INFJs, my next point, respect is earned. Respect to us is something that people must earn based on their actions and their merit of who they are. We do not respect, people just because they're, say, famous or wealthy or have some title that doesn't mean anything today, or because their granddaddy did something important 40 years ago. Yeah. Or that they were popular in high school 20 years ago, or because they're friends with so-and-so, or in this clique, and that doesn't mean anything to us. It's all about who you are, how you treat people, and how much integrity you have. I'm not going to respect you just because you're a millionaire or a movie star, or you play professional sports ball, or some relative 2 generations ago was a big shot, or if you have some, if you're like the Earl of Wessex. You can be the Earl of Wessex and be a scumbag. You can be a bloody prince and be a scumbag. Yeah, Andrew, I'm talking about you. He should be in jail. And we believe in the essence of quality. Yes, that's the biggest point. Quality over quantity. I referenced it already, but that applies to pretty much everything with us. Friends, relationships, possessions. Always quality over quantity. It's better to have that one true unconditional love. Yes, that blue rose that I mentioned. I'd take that any day over. Well, you can, have a casual fling with these 6 models. It's like, no. But again, demisexual. So that kind of skews that for me, because not all Sigma INFJs are demisexual. So I hope these 10 points were, educational for those of you that may be watching this that are thinking, well, I know I'm an INFJ, but am I a Sigma INFJ? Because you're not necessarily both. So remember, trust your intuition, Sigma INFJs, quality over quantity. Remember, that's how your brain's wired. There's no escaping it. And keep in mind, keep your integrity. Judge people for what they do of their own free will, not because of, their material wealth, whatever job they have that they may not deserve, that they might have got through nepotism, or because of, some traditional, outdated, irrelevant title.